Alright, let's mix things up a bit. I want to talk to you all about two of my favorite lost pieces of media, but I gotta warn you, this is intended for the morbidly curious. I'll be talking about death and suicide, so if you're not comfortable with either of these topics, then you've been warned. The first I want to talk about is from the critically acclaimed film Grizzly Man, created by Werner Herzog. Grizzly Man is a documentary that focuses on the strange life of Timothy Treadwell and his obsession with bears. He would be one of the few people on this planet to dare to go to nature and find bears in the wild and document them, play with them even. Ultimately, and tragically, he would perish by the hands of his own beloved bears, the ones he tried to protect and the ones he cared for so long. The bear, whom Timothy recognized as being one of the most dangerous ones he'd witnessed, reportedly killed and devoured both Timothy Treadwell and his girlfriend at the time. Because of this, it resulted in the bear's death, as a rescue party eventually found the bear at Timothy's campsite and was shot to death by the park rangers in order to retrieve the bodies. Well, what was left of it anyways. And what was left was not a lot, but the details are very gruesome. Timothy's own mangled, decapitated head was left on site, along with a partially consumed spine, a forearm, and Timothy's hand and wrist with his watch still on. A second bear approached and attempted to attack the park rangers, which also led to the bear's death. These two bears were supposed to be dissected to find out more about the attack, but only one bear was examined, and the other was eaten by other animals. The bear that was dissected was the one found on the campsite, and it contained several human body parts inside its stomach. It's a brutal and ironic end for one of the most controversial bear enthusiasts out there. Yet, what I haven't mentioned is the infamous recording. Yes, there is a recording of the entire incident. It was described as gruesome. The tape was recorded by none other than Timothy himself, as he frequently taped his encounters with the bears and his time in the forest. It's unknown why he began recording, as the tape starts with him being mauled, but nonetheless, the content within this audio recording is graphic and has disturbed anyone and everyone who's heard it. It was pretty well known for a time, but like everything else on the internet, people forget. Honestly though, I think it's best that we discuss this elusive tape one more time, because it seems some confusion has been brought up. Firstly, the tape is technically a video recording. However, since the cap lens was on, nothing can be seen in the video whatsoever. Secondly, there is claim that this tape was circulating around the web, but I promise you, anything that is claimed to be the real Timothy Treadwell video is a ruse. Every single one of them is fake, albeit some of them very well made and very convincing, as it contains most of what was described to be in the real audio. Finally, I've seen some commenters say that Timothy Treadwell's ex-girlfriend, who is the sole owner of the tape, has released it to the public for educational purposes. Jewel Palavac was still close friends with Timothy, and she has respected his career and his family grieving over this. And she has no intention of ever releasing the tapes whatsoever, not even listening to them. There is no evidence that she has released the tapes, and last time she talked about the tape, she told interviewers that she has yet to destroy it. It still exists, but only Jewel knows where they are. As a kid, I was fascinated by this morbidly alluring piece of audio, but no doubt it would have been the most scarring thing I'd ever hear. There's no reason to look for it, and honestly, even if you are curious, you're going to have to learn how to let go, because you'll never hear it. Timothy Treadwell's story is one of caution and one of delusion. Many of us can believe that we are friends of nature, but it's one thing to be friends of nature and one to be ignorant of nature. Remember, when you're out in the wild, you're playing by nature's rules. No matter how much you believe you're a friend of the animals, and no matter how much you believe the animals love you, the food chain is what it is, and you should be wary of the apex predators that are lurking around the corners of every forest, every tree, every lake, everywhere. In the end, you could be doing more harm than you are doing good.